Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see from any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me for pricing, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing a modern classic, the watch that defines today's Breguet watch manufacturer. It's the Tradition, reference 7027, this example in yellow gold, the boldest of golds, which with a matching gilded yellow gold movement. It is as good as it gets. Consider what you'll spend on a dress watch from Journe, Voutilanen, the Grunefelds. Now consider getting the same level of quality here for a fraction of the price from a brand that will be around forever to provide parts and service. Taking a quick look at the basic size, this watch, which first debuted back in 2005, is 37 millimeters in diameter, 12 millimeters thick, from lug tip to lug tip, 45.6 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. The watch wears easily on a 16 centimeter circumference wrist, which is what I have, but I could also recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, as it does wear quite compact. It's not ultra thin, but it's slender enough. With a domed bezel, it'll slide easily underneath a dress cuff or tight sleeve. The strap is high-grade, large rectangular scale alligator leather with a gloss finish. There's a little bit of bolstering or stuffing to add volume. It has a folded edge, a monotone stitch, black on the top, conventional calfskin on the bottom. You can see this is a brand new Breguet factory strap, and it comes with a matching yellow gold Breguet pin buckle. The case is handsomely made. It's cold rolled to create the coining and then hand finished. The lugs are welded on with all evidence of the welded joint removed by hand. This is a laborious, slow going, and very traditional case manufacturing method, but it's what you want to see on a super premium product. Now you can see that the lugs themselves have retention bars fixed by screws and bars. So the combination of screws and bars much more secure than a spring bar setup. And you can see that the system is held in place using set screws on the bottom, so very secure. The bezel is flanged on its outer face. The same can be said of the case back, and then they're mirrored domed profiles. We have a Breguet logo on the crown. On the dial side, a lovely frosting across the bridges and plates, and you can see on the reverse side we get the same. The reverse side shows the mechanism that underpins the power reserve indicator, and you can see that in action right here. It's adjusted in 5 positions, which is the high horology and chronometer standard. All of this pivoting on 34 jewels. You might miss it at first glance, but very traditional high-end finish is present. If you take a look, you can see the Breguet name has been engraved onto the base plate. We have mirrored anglage on the bridges, and if you look, we even have sharp inward angles where bevels meet. There are a couple of those here on the reverse of the watch, and they're nicely treated. The treatment on most of the wheels is satination. Here we can see circular satination, and observe the presence of both fire-blued and black polished screws. Taking a quick look, you can appreciate that there's a lot going on the dial side. The imagery drawn from vintage Breguet pocket watches. So we have a dial that is made of solid gold. It's cut on a rose lathe to create the guilloche patterns that we observe here. Cut from solid gold. First it's cut on the lathe, and then it's silver to create the silver coloration. You see the silver metallic, but make no mistake, it is a solid disc of gold. The hands are fire blued. We have Breguet style hands for the hours and minutes. And then we have a power reserve indicator. You can see the beautiful engraved power reserve scale. Manual wind, 50 hours. The barrel at center gets pride of place. And then you can see we have great wheel, third wheel, fourth wheel, escape wheel, and the balance. And the balance is a surprisingly modern affair. A recessed bolt variable inertia balance that can be used to make fine-tuned adjustments that are not susceptible to shock-induced timing deviation. The timing is all done by moving the bolts in the balance in and out, and because they are recessed from the free airstream, they also reduce the effective aerodynamic drag on the movement. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and you can see that it uses an unconventional shock protection system called parachute that was eventually perfected by Breguet and used in his lifetime as what might have been the first practical shock protection for a watch. And then we have an overcoil hairspring, of course, the Breguet overcoil overcoil designed to center the mass of the hairspring. So with a more centered mass, position has less of an effect on the timing of the watch because gravity will not be grabbing an asymmetrically balanced hairspring. It's very well balanced with an overcoil, with as much of the mass centered towards the balance staff itself. And a little bit unexpected, but the watch does feature a hacking seconds function, despite the fact that it does not have a seconds hand. There's some nostalgic elements, including individual finger train bridges for the drivetrain, just as we would have seen in antiquity. And you'll appreciate the presence of wheels whose spokes are designed with an antiquarian sensibility, all of this water resistant down to 30 meters. I really do think this is as good as what you get from the likes of the Jorns, the Grunefelds, the Vuelenens of the world. It's that handsome, that special, and far more accessible. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.